It was pretty hilarious and out of left field for sure. But that was how Mean Gene was. He was quick to the punch. He was funny. He always had a comeback. He was always able to make a awkward situation on a bad promo and change it into something meaningful. And he was just really good at that. And it was really sad. When WWE gave him his walking papers, I guess they kind of felt he was outdated, like they did with a lot of their talent. And he went to WCW, and he did a hell of a job at WCW doing the same thing he did at WWE, whether it was backstage interviews or he would do like at the top of the ramp interviews after a match. Or I used to love the little stages that they used to set up in like the back of the arena, where he would do interviews with talent. They'd walk up the steps and get on the platform with them, and they'd basically be standing in the middle of the crowd on this little, who knows? It was probably like 6 pallets piled on top of each other with a ring stairs. I have no idea. But I just love those interviews, and then you would always have the ring in the background. You would be waiting for that talent to start something and then go running to the ring to attack the guy he was talking about, or vice versa, or guys to come out and attack the talent during that interview. I mean, it was just such a different world of wrestling back then. There was a lot of suspense. There was a lot of shock value. There wasn't the internet leaking information. There wasn't the Dave Meltzers of the world going out there and and just telling everybody what's going to happen or predicting what's going to happen. And people like Meltzer annoy me because they know people in the locker room. They have the privilege of having a relationship with these people, and then they utilize that to leak information. And it's just so mind-boggling of why are you ruining the shock value, the awe factor for every single person that's waiting to watch this? How is it more entertaining to watch something when you know exactly what's going to happen already? How is that fun? People get pissed off when people spoil movies or spoil TV shows. So what's the difference? What's the difference? So, I don't know. Mean Gene always kept it entertaining. Mean Gene always told a story. He always had people sitting on the end of their seats waiting for something to happen. Whether it was, Hulk Hogan or Macho Man, The Ultimate Warrior, Jake Roberts, The Undertaker. It didn't matter. He was in the middle of storylines. Whether he was involved in it or not, he was in the middle of it because he would create drama by doing these interviews. He'd be doing that interview with Hulk Hogan, talking to Hogan. He's cutting his promo outside on that stage, and someone would come out and jump Hogan, and then the following week he'd have the bad guy on, and then Hogan would come out and jump him, and it was just so great, and it was also 4 pay-per-views a year, so you had months of build for storylines. So it was convincing when you get to watch it a couple times a week. Hogan in the back cutting his promos, and guys out on the stage cutting promos and having a tune-up match here and there. Like it was believable. Now there's pay-per-views once a month, sometimes twice a month. And sometimes even more. They'll have 2 pay-per-views a month, along with a televised on the network house show, like Crown Jewel, like the Australia one. And it's just enough. It's too much. You have no time to build storylines. You have days. Days. Instead of months, you have days. Right now, we want to welcome in Dave Mooch of MZ Promotions. Welcome back to the show. Happy New Year.
What's up?
What's going on?
Not much. How you?
I'm doing good. Happy to have you on, and happy to share some great New Year's news and announcements with you. So I don't want to waste any more of your time or anybody else's, but go ahead.
Well, that was just an announcement before the announcement.
Oh, that was the announcement for the announcement. Jim pointed that out to us.
Okay. I got an echo.
You have no echo on this side, so I'm sorry you have to listen to me twice.
No, I listened to myself.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
Yeah, I know. Well, we have 4 guests confirmed as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ron Simmons. We got D'Lo Brown. We have The Godfather. So some of you guys can assume there might be more added onto that.
Okay.
For something special. And the other guys, we're hoping to add some more guys to that and do a little nation domination possibly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in the works, but
I mean, I know you got your headliner still to go.
That kind of went south.
Ah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Unfortunately, we had a big headliner, and that one went south completely.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, there's always other opportunities out there. You never know.
Yeah. There's other names that we're going after that are on that same scale. So, it happens. Unfortunately, the person that we were trying to get was, might be in a match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
So that's the reason why we can't do it.
Gotcha. Which is kind of silly if you really think about it. I mean, even for one day. Even for one day, the Friday. I mean, come on.
I know.
It's just silly. Just backstage politic bullshit.
It's not completely done. We didn't get the definite no, but it's looking kind of that way.
Well, New Year's, we get a nice little New Year's resolution or your wish out there. Considering I know who it is, I hope it happens.
Yeah, it would be great with the private signing that we're doing with Kane.
Yeah.
But like I said, ball's not in our court right now. If Vince says yes and the person agrees, then we're good.
Yep. Well, that's what it comes down to. Vince is the boss, regardless of who it is. He's the boss.
Yep. And if they're active, not active, whatever.
Yep. He's got the last say.
That's it.
And it's that's just the way. It's just the way it is. And it doesn't even matter. And push comes to shove, even at NXT. The one who has the last word is always going to be Vince.
That's right.
So let me talk to you about, because you've had interactions and worked with Mean Gene before. Him passing away yesterday at the age of 76. I mean, from your interactions with him, like how what was yours with Mean Gene?
Yeah, he was a great guy. I mean, you think of any wrestling commentating, I always think of him.
Right.
He was always that guy in the back room, backstage interviewing people. It was just, it's crazy that we saw him, a month ago? Well, at least I did. He was at, I think the last time I saw him was at George's Cards and Collectibles.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff. He was just at WrestleCade in November.
Yeah. But Jeff had him, what did we have him? Jeff had him in town for something.
He had him for Legends in June, and I think Legends in October. Not really sure because I didn't attend that one because we had the wedding.
No, I think it was.
Was
It
it
was
big?
definitely there when I had Debo.
Was it big event? Then November's big event?
Yeah. It had to, yeah, because I had Debo then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was him. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
That's the first. Just saw him.
That's the first person I messaged when I found out because Jeff has worked with him a lot in the past 2 years, and
Yeah,
I know they got
it's a shame, man.
yeah they got really close. So he was the first person I thought of when it happened. I called him up.
It's crazy because I saw it online, and I thought it was just BS, and then I took a screenshot and I sent it to Jeff, and I'm like, Jeff, is this real? And then he's like, no. And I'm like, did you find out? And he texts me back, and he's like, yeah, man. He's gone, Sucks. He was a great guy.
He was.
He was.
A lot of the problems with a lot of these guys from the 70s and 80s is that they didn't take care of themselves. So they did a lot of drinking, a lot of partying. And
yeah.
It catches up to him. I mean, not this. Look, 76 years old is not a short life. But, in perspective, he probably could have lived to about 90. A lot of these guys pass away at 90 that took a little bit better care of themselves. I mean, you never know when that person's going to come knocking at the door, the guy in the black robe. You never know when he's going to come knocking, so it's, live your life to the fullest and take care of yourself.
Yeah. So it wasn't. I'm sure Jeff wasn't happy about that.
No, of course not, man. I mean, it's he was upset that it hit home. It was it's kind of like losing a family member, and when you work so much with a person and you're that close to them, and texting and phone calls for the holidays, it's kind of like losing a family member.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we find out about this stuff way too often lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's already two former WWE personalities have passed away, and it's only the 3rd of January.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, somebody that's close to everybody, like you said, we do a lot with these guys, and we travel with them. People don't see us doing, they only see us about one show.
Right.
But we, when they come in for the weekend, they're in for the weekend. We spend numerous hours with them, plus on the phone with them.
Yep.
Doing a lot of negotiating and just BSing. And then after you book them 3-4 weekends at different shows, different places, different towns, different cities, and you kind of build a relationship with these people where I won't say you're best friends with them, but it's a friend business,
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, there's, Bob Orton and Eric Bischoff and me are people that I text on birthdays and holidays. We text back and forth. Sometimes even just a text to check in to see how everything is. Bob doesn't have social media, so that's the only way I can get to touch with him. Eric does have social media, so I see when he's active. But
right.
You work with them enough, they become friends, and yeah, everybody wants to keep it professional in business, but you still care if something happens to them.
Absolutely, our relationship with Anvil.
Yep.
Being Vinny, and everybody could, they could tell you stories of this and that, but me and Vinny dealt with him a lot.
Right.
And, it hit us both hard. It wasn't an easy thing. It's like we're not friendly enough that we would go to if it was local, yeah, we would probably, go to the wake and stuff. But,
right.
It's I don't know. There's a fine line between that, I guess. But, to be honest with you, his wife, Ellie, just texted me last week to see how I was doing.
Well, that's good.
And this is Anvil's wife, it has nothing to do with wrestling anymore.
Right.
All she did was just say, hey, Dave, how are you? Want to share things well. That's it. And then I called her, and we just talked for 20 minutes on the phone about what? Not even about Jim. Nothing about the family.